Welcome to the bold analysis. I have an open letter to William Samoei Ruto. That President, Mr. President, there is a virus you must tame. There is a virus you must fight. It is, we have to really give some credit. And Mr. President, I know compared to the 2013, the time you started first time with Uhuru Kenyatta, there are a lot of corruption scandals that were coming. Now you're not seeing media, amplifying quite a number of corruption scandals. But does it mean they're not there? Does it mean everything is fine, Mr. President? Just the other day, we had to delay paying salaries because we had money problems. And we had to choose between paying salaries or rather defaulting on our debts. I'm talking about these two stories. Sometime last month, and before we look at that, I wanted to look at the photo in your screen. Mr. President, this is a 36-year-old woman who was found murdered and her badly deformed body dumped in Jamhuri Estate in Nairobi. And now I'm just reading the Star that the investigators are trying to narrow her murder to her workplace. Her name is June Jerome Kangogo from Uasin Gishu County. And may God rest his soul in peace and may God comfort the family. She was buried today in Uasin Gishu, and I followed up that video. Until her death, she was an accountant at the National Industrial Training Authority. She was in charge of the vote account, a powerful section in the accounts department. What links her death to her work is the fact that all three suspects, according to Star, that were arrested in connection to her demise are actually employees at NITA and work in the accounts department. They have mentioned quite a number. The story have tried to profile them. Now, further prior to her death, and this is intrigues of what might have happened the last time, insiders told the police the deceased and one of the suspects had been summoned by their bosses for grilling over some questionable deals and missing money at NITA. An investigation was ongoing, and many believe this may have led to her murder. Police have so far not ruled out the theory, and it is among those that are being pursued. A postmortem on the body showed that, conducted on the body showed that Jerome revealed that she was stabbed in the chest. The autopsy says Jerome died due to severe bleeding after she was stabbed in the chest, thereby rupturing the heart. She went missing on 18th March, and her body was discovered by pedestrians in Jamhuri area 2 days later. That was on 20th March. This lady died 2 months ago. We also covered a story here about a lady known as Lillian Waithera, who was working, I think, also at some government office, who, mysteriously, she was shot by some sort, I don't know whether they say a gun or a sniper. And also, that was connected to an investigation about a corruption. This is also coming, and they're linking it to an investigation about a corruption. I know that we are in a situation where I know that as the president, it's not about getting your hands in everything. It's not about getting your hands in everything because the investigating agencies, we have the DCI, we have those who are supposed to probe. It should not take a justice for and so for some of these things to be pursued. But I'm taking this one to President William Ruto's doorstep because there is something that you need to look at. William Ruto, corruption is a virus that you must fight. Well, and I've just realized that if you want to fight corruption, then you must uproot it. You don't cut the branches. Corruption is a tree. It's a tree that has the branches, the leaves, and the fruits. So if you want to remove it, you must uproot it. Something is amiss. It is not, and it cannot be normalized, that people are just passing on, linked on maybe on investigations. This is what I know, that in a scandal, in an investigation, if someone is eliminated, then that person can only be a witness to that. Or accused. Or to some, it has to come to that. So you need to, I think on this one, President William Ruto must crack the whip on these snipers, because you're losing money. And these cases, I gossip, the investigation agency says we don't have evidence. Lack of enough evidence. Lack of enough evidence because those who probably were supposed to give evidence have been killed. So Ruto, if President Ruto wants to fight corruption, crack the whip. I think take a personal move on these ones, because I know these are stories that are in the newspaper and they're in the media all over. It's just something new. Take a personal initiative. Make calls and ask, I want that and that, so that to make sure that case, if there is an investigation going on, it's brought to book. When that happens, we are going to seal loopholes. We should not normalize a situation where people are just losing lives recklessly. People who are serving the country. And, we are burying billions of scandals. By the way, that's the truth. We are burying billions of scandals by this elimination method. And this is the resultant effect, that quite amount money that is supposed to help us, this economy, end up going to people's pockets freely. And I want to look at it that Ruto must come, because you also run the risk of having a very insecure or inferior public service. I believe that there is a caucus for the Kenyan accountants. There is also a caucus for maybe people working as accountants in different government ministries, even those who are working in the public service, in the private service. There are colleagues in these sectors, people who are colleagues of these people now passing on. How do they feel? Can people work freely? But when there is that bit of that protection, in fact, I agree, we need to go to parliament and legislate. You cannot legislate on personal security, on how we're going to, but I think on some critical factors, that on this issue of if there is a corruption, if there is something going on in terms of an investigation, we should put even those who are witnesses, the accused, and everyone have a very strong protection. We need that so that we can bring corruption cases to logical conclusion and jail people. Otherwise, if we don't seal these loopholes, then public money will continue being looted to get to people's pockets without any doubt. And because they can get away with it in our judicial system, which, sorry to say, is rotten. or rather is porous. So lastly, Ruto must look at it because political friendliness can also be abused. Yes. When DPP drop charges saying political charge, it is political friendliness. Some of these things must be brought to book. Because kama kuna mahali pesa inapotea ni hapa kwa procurement na accounting. Hapa. Let's, on this one, on this is a trend coming. It's a very increasing, alarming rate that Ruto must be on the nut. And I think my keyword is witness protection. Let's get a legal framework and the ball in your court, members of parliament.